Hello, 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 hello. Happy Monday. Christmas week. How's everyone doing? Good morning, Royal Palms. Who else is in here? All the news is jumbled up. Thank you for putting in so much news this morning. Sterling, good morning, Sterling. Good morning, Patrick. Good morning, Patrick on Rumble. Good morning to Jake. Good morning, OD Green. Good morning, Heinrich. Good morning, Rusty over on Rumble. How is everyone doing? Again, we'll probably keep the live streams a little shorter this week. We'll definitely do Friday. We'll do tomorrow. Still deciding on Christmas Eve. Remember, it's shortened trading hours on Christmas Eve. Maybe we'll do a quick one, just like a 15-minute one, but it's shortened hours on Wednesday. Stocks close at 1 Eastern. The equity futures close at 1:15 Eastern. And then they're closed all day Christmas, and they stay still open Christmas night. So keep that in mind. Good morning, holy, holy. Hello, Charles. All right. So, gold taking off, silver taking off, crude breaking out above a little resistance base. Good morning, Jacob. I would love to. I think it's going to be it's going to end a down year. I think it's going to end a down year, Jake. It doesn't mean we can't go higher in the beginning. But midterm elections, where we are in the cycle, we will probably have a down year. It could kick off a choppy years for next few years too, based on valuations. But we can talk about more of that after Christmas. Did I say good morning, Jacob? If not, you got two good mornings. All right, what do we got going on this week? Well, today we have the Chicago Fed National Activity Index, which came out a little bounce from prior, but still negative. And we got some 3 and 6 month bill auctions. Tomorrow we got some prior data like the durable goods orders for October, the core PCE prices. These are for the second quarter because we got the GDP coming out. So we got the PCE related to GDP, and that's the second estimate for Q3. And we got Red Book tomorrow, industrial productions, Richmond Fed, consumer confidence. Wednesday, the initial and continuing jobless claims coming out Wednesday because Thursday is Christmas. So no crude numbers. No, where are the EIA numbers? Are they? There they are. They're coming out Monday. They are coming out not until Monday. So they're being delayed until next Monday. So starting on Wednesday, that really wraps up, and Friday's not much information. Also, so far this morning, we got a lot of AI pumping, NVIDIA pumping going on today. So you got big positive in your chips. Semiconductor, computer hardware, Google's up, Meta's up, Tesla's up, Apple's the only one. Oracle, Microsoft. So you're very positive in that today. Let's just refresh this. Consumer, defensive, and utilities are the only thing pulling back so far. But there's your basic materials led by gold and silver. Fed watch now back to 80% for a pause in January. Fear and greed in neutral mode. Schiller PE back above 40. In terms of earnings, there is really nothing. We got Limeneria tomorrow, I guess. But I mean, there's really nothing in the next 2 weeks. So we don't really have to focus on earnings. Remember, the next earnings season starts in the middle of January. We have some things after the holiday season's over, but really it's middle of January that we start kicking off the banks. Good morning, Balaji. Good morning, Yogi. All right, so now we're into the more quiet period. Lower volume generally. Here's your March contract. Today, watch the 6907 area for a close above that. Triggers the probabilities to retest the high area on the March contract from, prior to the sell-off. So from December 12th and then possibly from October highs. If you look at the continuous contract, The continuous contract is now up to where it was trading on the prior contracts near their highs. All right, but right now in the March, the key thing today is watch 69.06. The targets higher, if we still the targets higher I'm using today are 69.34. Then don't know if we get there today, but the next key area is 69.61. Then above there I'm looking 69.73.75, 69.74. That was the big reversal bar from Friday the 12th. So that's what we're keying off of. But we still have daily cycles going up. We are not yet overbought. On the weekly time frame, remember we dipped into the rotation zone last week and we closed back above it. So I'm paying attention. It's not a percent beat buy, but I'm still paying attention to roughly the area of last week's high, which is right around that 75% harmonic. And that's a pretty key level you see here. You see this weekly key doji bar, reversal bar, spike up above this 69.36 area, closing right at it, then the gap above, reversal bar down, and a retest that area. So this is a very key area it is approaching. Keep that in mind. All right, NASDAQ today. The bigger harmonic level is 25,726. The minor harmonic is 25,660. If we continue this rally, we'll close above them both. In the short term, the target's 25,814, 25,969, and then 26,041. I didn't go over support on the S&P. If we do pull back, I'm keeping an eye on the 4-hour rotation zone. The first, and we have a little minor level right around this 68.96 to 6,900, and then more significant, I'm looking at 68.81. If we pull back in the NASDAQ, I'm looking at 2,600. If we drop below that, 2,480 to 2,500. And I already went through the targets. The upside, we're into a clear path move, and the end of that clear path move, the target is this 25,969, coinciding with the harmonic area. Dow is really nothing. Right now, pullback, I'm looking at 48,368, resistance 48,710. Russell, based off the March contract, my key support 25.44, 25.45 area. Resistance 25.55, which we're trading up against now. On a closing basis, I'm watching 25.80.5, especially if you break higher today. The Russell also still holding the weekly rotation zone. Yields confirming but not triggering. Last week, the little mini double top, no trigger, and bouncing back up. If we continue to move a little higher, this will be off the table again. And remember, nothing here invalidated the massive inverse head and shoulders. Your 30-year, so far, little sideways correction, rotating up from the rotation zone, hitting some major, there's a lot of key resistance at this 4.85 yield level. Crude, I was keeping an eye on this above 57. Put that in the unfiltered investor. Above that was looking for a potential quick little breakout. Already hit the targets. Already hit the targets. If we continue up, I'm going to watch where we close today. We're getting to cycle tops in this area, but 58.60 is the next key level, then 59. So we'll take a look at closer at crude tomorrow, but it looks like, remember, I kept talking about there's a very strong support base here. And we had a little mini reversal pattern last week. Gold updated the harmonics above. Again, we tested the all-time highs and made a new all-time high last Thursday. Holding sideways correction, 8 pushing the price. Updated the harmonics, 44.60, which we've hit today already. And then the next harmonic is 45.22, then 45.57. The next major area would be 47.16 to 47.45. Again, trend remains up. Potential double is still in place unless we get above 45.22.2. Silver updated these harmonics. Again, I know where your stops are. We are definitely in the vertical phase. Doesn't mean it has to stop, but I know where your stops are. Harmonics for this is 6. We already hit the minor harmonic that I had earlier on here, but we're approach 69, 77 to 70. And then if it keeps going, 74.50. No topping pattern yet, but above, though we're insanely overbought with cycles at a top. So I am watching from a short term. I'd definitely be trailing. Dollar index rotating down from the rotation zone. So we got the little percent B buy bounce continuing into the rotation zone and rotating down. So we're going to have to watch to see if the massive double bottom is invalidated on this next push down or not. Euro, rotation zone. This was a percent B buy setup, which we've broken above. So I'm watching where the euro closes in relationship to Friday's high. Remember, we still have a final target on the double bottom. The yields in Japan somewhat getting unanchored above 2% on Friday, and now hitting the next key harmonic at 2.096. Exact high was at 2.1. Yep, 2.1. So again, this is very interesting. Even with the hike, they did hike in Japan, and yields are still climbing. We broke out of the channel. The only thing that would be interesting to put a stop to this, I'll be keeping there is a potential double top in the 30-year yields in Japan. The yen also breaking out of the corrective channel higher on Friday and a little pause today. Remember, we still have a magnet price of 159.15. Bitcoin still it's breaking above this little resistance shelf, this 89,300 I mentioned last week. The next key area, though, it's still in this massive consolidation. So it's not broken down and not been able to sustain a rally yet. Not surprised to see a little bounce with everything going risk on to head into Christmas week, but 93K is going to be very key. Ethereum also caught in still the corrective channel. Spiders, keep an eye. Keep an eye. We're gapping up above 682.48, so watch that on the closing basis. The targets are 684.74, 686.99. Those are the targets. Key support coming in at 680.75. The Qs, looks like we're also going to close above 618.36 unless we have a strong reversal today. The targets are 621.98, then roughly 625.65 area, 625.50 to 625.65. Key support on the Q, 613.05. What else? We have your NVIDIA on the China pump, which Beijing is not confirmed yet. So we're getting the NVIDIA pumps, trying to get a little rally on in that. But we still have the massive, not triggered, but the massive potential head and shoulders top. 187 is a very key level of resistance. 187, 187.50 area. What else do we have? Sterling managed. Put Palantir into the chat. What do you got here? Palantir is a very interesting weekly setup. It's closed above the 62.5 on a weekly and is entering the gap area that would return to all-time high area. Yeah, is the weekly. It is. Last week it didn't technically close on the weekly basis, but it had already closed on the daily basis. So again, the magnet prices has already ticked off the 192.53. It did close. Sorry, that's this week. Was that last week? Boy, where are we? Last week it did close above it. Sorry, Sterling was right. So it already ticked off 192.53, 200. 200 is the next key thing. Again, we'd be in double top territory. We are in double top territory right now. Other than that, if it does break out to the upside, your reverse harmonics are the ones to use. Again, let's see. It did close below, so it went to neutral mode, but it's back in bullish mode right now based off the harmonic reversal. So we'll have to see how much this pump takes it higher. Looks like we might get another major divergence up here, but I would not be shorting this unless it gets back below and triggers this double top. There's no front run just yet also. But if it breaks out the upside 215 and then 222.51, if it gets above there, the potential double is off the table. So there you go, in full blown a pump mode for AI in thinner markets this week. So let's see where that takes us. Interesting, Broadcom also with a key close below some, or right at, I should say, right at last Wednesday, and now trying to bounce up. But I'm going to be watching this bounce very closely on Broadcom to see if we start rolling over. So anything else? Not seeing much else. By the way, Alphabet, keeping an eye on this one with last week's spike to the rotation zone. Spike to the rotation zone with a little reversal for a bounce play into this week. Keeping an eye on that. Other than that, Tesla, remember, completed the double. I don't have anything just yet on Tesla. Just waiting for the next pattern to unfold. So I think we're going to wrap it up there. We're going to keep these a little shorter this week. I hope everyone has a wonderful trading day. Don't do anything silly on Christmas week either. And remember, it's a lighter volume. So thank you, Dark Screen Sleep. It's not easy. It's not easy. I hope you aren't short in gold. I hope you aren't short in gold, though. Again, I really appreciate everyone tuning in this week, and I shall talk to everyone. I'll be back definitely tomorrow. We will definitely have a live stream tomorrow morning. So, again, you're welcome, Jake. I'll see everyone then. Bye for now.